Welcome children to SV Union High School and Junior College Pune. I am Deepa Farke. Today's session we will be learning Standard 8 History Chapter 12 India Gains Independence. So let's begin with the introductory statement. During the period of Second World War, Indian freedom struggle had become more intensive. The demand for independence of India was gaining its strength. The British rulers realized that it was necessary to take a serious note of it. So accordingly, they started preparing various plans for granting independence to India. Because that was the time, children, you need to understand that when the Second World War started in the year 1939, all the Indians had already become very aware about the exploitation that was done by the British rulers to them. So that was the time even Indians realized, and they intensified their struggle furthermore. That's the reason the British rulers realized that it was necessary to take some serious action, note of it. So they made different various plans for granting independence to India. They realized that their days in India were countables. Now it was not going to be possible for them to stay forever in India. So they made various plans for granting independence to India. During 1885, the Indian National Congress, this national political party, had already been established by all the senior Indians. And it was based on the secularism. It was based on the principle of secularism, and irrespective of caste, gender, religion, people had believed into this political party, and they had also involved in the national struggle. Now, what was the policy of the Britishers over here? Britishers knew that if this political party gains majority of votes, gains popularity, it will be different for the Britishers to stay over here in India and exploit India. So they started divide and rule policy, and the best consequence of this divide and rule policy between Hindus and Muslims were the establishment of Muslim League. In 1930, Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, a well-known poet, put forth the thought of an independent Muslim state. Late Chaudhry Rahmat Ali put up the idea of Pakistan. So this way, for the first time after the establishment of Muslim League, the thought of having a separate Muslim state, Muslim nation came forward, and people also, rather Muslims also, supported to this idea. Barrister Muhammad Ali Jinnah put forth the two-nation theory and demanded a separate Muslim nation named Pakistan. So first, it was been put forward by the Muslim poet. Later on, all the other Muslim intellectuals also supported this idea of having a separate Muslim nation named Pakistan. Indian National Congress, which was established in 1885, irrespective of the religion, caste, all the Indians had become very active under the guidance of this political party, and there were no differences between Hindus and Muslims into this party. But as it is said, Indian National Congress was only a Hindu organization, and Muslims will not have any benefit of it. Such kind of propaganda was started by Barrister Jinnah, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and the Muslim League. Obviously, actually, the Britishers were succeeded in creating the differences between Hindus and Muslims, in breaking the love between Hindus and Muslims in India. Not only the divide and rule policy was implemented, but also the Britishers continued doing so, and they did it in the Wavell Plan. In June 1945, Lord Wavell, the Viceroy of India, he drew up a plan. And there were different provisions in this plan, and according to some provisions, it was clearly told that the separate leaders, the separate seats will be reserved in the central as well as provincial legislatures the separate numbers reservations will be given to Muslims, Dalits and minorities in the Executive Council. So obviously, Barrister Jinnah insisted that only the Muslim League should have the right to suggest the names of Muslim representatives to the Viceroy's Executive Council. And obviously, a meeting of all major political parties in India was organized at Simla to consider this Wavell plan, and where Muhammad Ali Jinnah insisted that the names of the members from Muslim League should be decided by Muslim League only. Obviously, the Congress opposed it, and finally, the Wavell plan did not get successful. It couldn't be successful. What is cabinet mission? See, the Second World War got over during 1945, and we know it that in the year 1947, India granted its independence. So same way here we need to understand that when all the Western countries were involved in the Second World War and it came to an end, similarly even England was freed. England was also equally involved in the Second World War, and after that, when it came to an end, it was very clear for England to grant independence to India. So in the Parliament, even British Prime Minister Attlee clarified the British policy regarding the granting independence to India. And according to this policy, the right of Indian people to draft its own constitution was also recognized, and it was also made clear that the issue of minorities will not come into the way of granting India's independence. So it was very clear that Britishers had understood that they were going to leave India very soon. After the announcement regarding British policy was announced by the British Prime Minister Attlee in March 1946, a delegation, a group of British officials, namely Patrick Lawrence, Stafford Cripps and A.V. Alexander, put forth England's plan regarding India in front of the Indian leaders, and for that purpose, this delegation had come to India. This delegation, its mission, its plan, its policy is known as Cabinet Mission. Some of the provisions in this plan were not acceptable to the Congress at all. So here, similarly, there were no provision of independent state for the Muslims. See, some of the provisions which were not acceptable to the Indian National Congress Party leaders, same way there was no clear-cut mention about the separate nation, creation of separate nation Pakistan. So obviously even Muslim League also opposed this Cripps mission. So naturally, both the parties, neither the members of the Indian National Congress nor the members of Muslim League accepted this Cripps mission. So it was not fully accepted by neither of them. Muslims were also annoyed because there was no clear mention about independent state of Pakistan, neither the Indian National Congress Party. But now we are going to learn about Direct Action Day. So by whom this action was taken? Let's study about it. Since the demand for Pakistan was not being fulfilled, the Muslim League decided for direct action. Accordingly, 16th August 1946 was declared to be observed as Direct Action Day by the Muslim League. The followers of Muslim League resorted to violent ways. There were Hindu-Muslim riots in various parts of the country. There were massacres in Nakholi region in the province of Bengal. To stop this violence, Gandhiji went there without giving any thought to his own life. He tried his best to establish peace over there. So children, here you can understand that by whom this Direct Action Day was observed. It was observed by the Muslim League on 16th August 1946. This was the time when Direct Action Day was observed. The followers of Muslim League resorted to violent ways, and there were Hindu-Muslim riots at different places in India. In some of the regions where these riots had become severe, Gandhiji reached over there to just bring out peace amongst the people between the Hindus and Muslims, because there were many massacres had taken place in the Noakhali region in the provinces of Bengal. Without giving it a second thought, Gandhiji reached over there and he tried his level best to establish peace over there. Children, we have learned the lesson up to Direct Action Day. We will learn remaining part of the lesson in the next video session. Thank you.